Hey folks, me again, the HEMA Reviews guy, and today I don't have a review for you. I would like to talk about something I find extremely important for the HEMA society as a whole. So here are two things we need to stop doing. The first thing that we need to stop doing is glorifying injuries. Now, I know it seems cool that, you have like a big bruise and everything and you are a warrior and yeah, sure, that's fine. You can be proud of that, but please don't glorify injuries. Don't glorify having to stay at home and not training because you got injured or having a big bruise. It will bring the wrong type of people to our sports, to our martial arts, and not only that, it will grow the wrong mindset. So we don't actually want to get injuries here. We want to show skill with a sword, but we want to minimize the potential for injury. If you show a dented mask and you go, yes, this is HEMA, that's not gonna have the right sword effect. That's not gonna have a good effect on the HEMA community as a whole. So please don't do that. We want to emphasize the skills we have with a sword. We want to emphasize the fun that HEMA actually is. We don't want to emphasize people getting hurt. The second thing that we need to stop doing, and this is very important in my opinion, is stop shifting blame. So this goes for several things, but I've been seeing a lot of threads on the internet, on Facebook, and it's been going on for a while, on various forums that goes, we have this guy, and I've seen this live, by the way, as well. It happens live all the time. And it happened to me when I was asking people on, what should I do? And for example, you have a suicidal fencer. You have a fencer that waits for you to attack, and he just tries to power through. And most of the time, it will result in a double. Sometimes it will result in the guy just overpowering your sword and hitting you. And what happens is, a lot of the time, people go, well, you need to know how to fight a suicidal fencer. No, we need to get rid of suicidal fencers. Yes, it is true that in a real fight, you would sometimes have suicidal fencers, and you should be able to deal with them to an extent. Sure, but that's again not the mindset that we want to have in HEMA. We want to have a skillful display of the art. We don't want to enable people who try and force double hits by being suicidal. And when you shift the blame to the one that actually wants to fence nicely and skillfully by saying, well, you are the one that needs to take responsibility and not get hit by a suicidal fencer, what we're doing is we are enabling the ones that are being suicidal. And we need to stop that. When you see that, what you need to do is you did nothing. You need to say this. You did nothing wrong. He is being suicidal. And that's where real progress in the mindsets will actually start. Because if you have somebody that always wants to do suicidal attacks and you have somebody that wants to do skillful attacks, well, the one who wants to do skill-based stuff won't be able to do it because the other one keeps being suicidal. And it's stunting our skill as a community. So let's stop doing that. Let's put the blame where it mostly lies. We are not training for real fights, okay? A real fight can be a useful metric sometimes, but it cannot be the end-all and be-all. We need to start thinking in terms of skills that would be useful in a real fight. And even though being able to handle suicidal fighters is a useful skill in a real fight, having suicidal tendencies and suicidal attacks is not. So we need to start working towards not having people with suicidal tendencies. And I'm not saying that people who do that are doing it to be assholes. They do it because it works to an extent. But it works only to a very small extent and at a relatively low skill level. And it stunts their growth. Because we don't tell them what you are doing is wrong. We tell the other better person because we want them to advance that they should learn how to adapt. And that is not good. All right, I'm sorry for the rant. This is something I feel relatively strongly about. I do have a couple of reviews ready for you. I have one that was filmed a relatively long time ago that I had some trouble with the programs. But until next time, do think about this. Please comment your thoughts in the comments below, and see you next time.